good morning everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके। सो लास्ट दो क्लास से हम लोग कम्यूटेशन पढ़ रहे हैं। सो टुडे इज़ द लास्ट क्लास ऑफ कम्यूटेशन। सो क्लास ए, क्लास बी और क्लास डी कम्यूटेशन हम लोग पढ़ चुके हैं, जिसमें क्लास ए कम्यूटेशन में वी वेर कनेक्टिंग एल एंड सी इन सीरीज विद द लोड. Class B was called as current commutation and class D was called as voltage commutation. ठीक है. जो last class of commutation is class C commutation, which is called as complementary commutation. So this is the most easiest and cheapest method of commutating a thyristor, and the circuit of this type of commutation is also very simple. So let us see what is a complementary commutation. So this is the circuit diagram of a complementary commutation. As you look to the circuit diagram, this is the simplest form जहाँ पर दो thyristors है T1 और T2. As the name suggests, complementary means T1 will be helping in टर्निंग ऑफ T2 एंड T2 विल बी हेल्पिंग इन टर्निंग ऑफ T1. तो ये दोनों थायरिस्टर जो है वो एक दूसरे के कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री है एंड विल हेल्प ईच अदर इन टर्निंग ऑफ. So only one commutating element is used here, which is the capacitor, और इंडक्टर का यहाँ पर यूज नहीं किया गया है. Why we will discuss it now. और इस कैपेसिटर की पोलैरिटी के चेंज के हिसाब से ही हम T1 और T2 को टर्न ऑफ कर सकते हैं. सो ओनली वन कम्यूटेटिंग एलिमेंट इज यूज्ड.
मैम actually नहीं दिख रहा।
ओके ओके. अभी दिख रहा है?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the circuit of complementary commutation. We have two thyristors T1 and T2, and each of the thyristor will help one another in turning off. मतलब T1 अगर ऑन है तो T2 ऑफ रहेगा और T2 अगर ऑन है तो T1 ऑफ रहेगा. और यहाँ पर इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग दैट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सर्किट्स ऑफ LC, यहाँ पर हम सिर्फ कैपेसिटर यूज़ कर रहे हैं, एंड विद द यूज़ ऑफ दिस कैपेसिटर ओनली यू कैन टर्न ऑफ वन ऑफ द थायरिस्टर. इस कैपेसिटर की पोलैरिटी के हिसाब से योर थायरिस्टर्स विल बी एबल टू टर्न ऑफ. Initially, again in this type of circuit, again the capacitor is assumed to be charged with Vs voltage. So Vc is the initial capacitance voltage, which is equal to Vs, and only one commutating element capacitor is used. So this type of circuit is very cheap and the circuit is easy to understand. So it is a simplest form of commutation circuits which you will study. So class C is called as complementary commutation circuit. So first is assume capacitor is initially charged with Vs voltage. Now step 2 is T2 is off and T1 is on. ठीक है? So your first mode of circuit will be when T2 is off and T1 is on. You can see from this polarity of capacitor, ये positive polarity है और ये negative polarity है. So because of this negative of the capacitor, this T2 will be reverse biased in initial position. So T2 will be off and T1 can be turned on by giving the gate pulse to the T1. तो पहले मोड में इन अंडर फर्स्ट मोड at t is equal to 0, T1 is on. T1 is on. तो हमारा जो सर्किट है वो सर्किट कुछ इस तरीके से हो जाएगा. T1 ऑन है तो उसको शॉर्ट सर्किट कर दिया. This is off. And you have a capacitor here which is charged with Vs. ठीक है? This is Vs. So current will be flowing here. Like this. ये ऑफ है तो यहाँ पर कोई करंट नहीं फ्लो करेगा. इसको ओपन सर्किट जैसा बना सकते हैं. So current will be flowing like this. There will be two currents which will be flowing like this. Yes or no? Suppose this is IC and this is IT1 या IR1. This is R1, this is R2. So let us take this as IR1. So total current which is flowing from the first thyristor T1, IT1 can be written as IR1 plus IC. Yes or no? सबको दिख रहा है? अंडर फर्स्ट मोड T1 इज ऑन. कैपेसिटर हमारा प्लस माइनस इस तरीके से चार्ज है तो इसके माइनस की वजह से T2 विल बी रिवर्स बायस्ड, T2 विल बी ऑफ and there will be two currents, one which is directly flowing from R1 and second which is flowing from R2 to the capacitor and to the thyristor. So there will be IT1 will be equal to sum of IR1 plus IC. Now IR1 can be written as Vs divided by, because R1 is connected in between these 2 points. So IR1 can be written as Vs divided by R1. Yes or no? IR1 can be written as Vs divided by R1 and IC is your discharging current. IC is your discharging current. So because you have a capacitor here and current is flowing like this in this direction, ऐसे current R2 से होकर के यहाँ flow कर रहा है. So now you have two voltages. यहाँ पर माइनस प्लस Vs है और यहाँ पर भी माइनस प्लस Vs है. ठीक है. So this IC will have 2 Vs by R2. पीक वोल्टेज जो होगा इसका वो 2 Vs by R2 होगा. Now what is the formula of discharging current? Discharging current is represented like this, T versus IC, or IC can be written as IC is equal to K into e to the power minus T by RC, right? Yes or no? Any problem? IC can be written as K into e to the power minus T by RC. यहाँ पर R जो है वो R2 है. IC is flowing from R2, so R is equal to R2. So IC can be written as K into e to the power minus T by R2C. ठीक है. Now what is K? K is nothing but initial voltage. K is nothing but the steady state current, value of steady state current. So steady state current will be equal to 2S divided by will be equal to 2Vs divided by R2, because यहाँ पर this current is flowing like this. देखो ये जो IC करंट है, IC current is flowing like this. यहाँ पर एक Vs है, then there is second Vs here. So total voltage will be equal to 2 times of Vs divided by R2. So steady state voltage will be equal to 2 times of Vs divided by R2 into e to the power minus T by R2C. वो उसका transient condition है. So IC can be, now you can substitute the value of K here. So IC can be written as 2 times of Vs divided by R2 e to the power minus T by R2C. ठीक है. IC की वैल्यू पता है, IR1 की वैल्यू पता है. IR1 कौन सा करंट है? दिस वन इज IR1. So IR1 will be equal to Vs divided by R1. तो यहाँ पर IR1 प्लस IC की वैल्यू लिख देंगे 2Vs divided by R2 e to the power minus T by R2C. So this is the total thyristor current which is flowing through thyristor 1. ठीक है. Now when the current is flowing like this through the capacitor, अब ये कैपेसिटर को ऑपोजिट चार्ज करेगा. अभी तक कैपेसिटर प्लस माइनस ऐसे था. Now your capacitor will change the polarity and will charge with plus minus like this. ये जो करंट यहाँ पे फ्लो हो रहा है IC current, this will charge your capacitor plus with plus minus like this. और जैसे ही ये प्लस माइनस Vs से चार्ज होगा, this thyristor T1 will get reverse biased and will get turned off. So because of the change of the polarity of capacitor, your thyristor T1 will turn off. Now if we draw the waveform for IT1, if we draw the waveform for IT1, So IT1 is sum of IC plus IR1. Suppose this is your IR1. ठीक है, सप्लाई DC है तो DC करंट है. This is your VS by R1 and suppose this is your IC which is discharging like this. So this is your 2 VS divided by R2. Discharging current will discharge up to this point and at this point यहाँ पर we are turning on the second thyristor T1. जैसे second thyristor on होगा IT1 will become 0. IT1 will become 0 and the thyristor will get reverse biased. ठीक है, so this is the waveform for IT1. IT1 is sum of 2 Vs by R2 डिवाइड प्लस Vs by R1. इन दोनों का जो है वो सम होगा IT1. ठीक है, सो एट दिस पॉइंट ये जो डैश पोर्शन है, एट दिस टाइम यू आर टर्निंग ऑन थायरिस्टर T2. सो व्हेन यू विल टर्न ऑन थायरिस्टर T2, अभी थायरिस्टर T1 ऑन था क्योंकि पोलैरिटी ऑफ कैपेसिटर वाज प्लस माइनस लाइक दिस. नाउ व्हेन the current will flow from Vs and R2 to thyristor T1, it will change the polarity of capacitor as this. अब polarity of capacitor जो current यहाँ से flow होगा R2 से, वो capacitor की polarity को इस तरीके से change करेगा, right? Current is flowing like this, so capacitor will now charge with plus minus like this. और जैसे ही plus minus Vs से charge होगा, this thyristor will get reverse biased and turn off and thyristor T2 will get now forward biased. तो second mode में for mode 2 T is equal to T2, suppose thyristor T2 is on and your circuit will be something like this. This will be off, this will be on. T2 is on and T1 is off. Your capacitor is charged with polarity like this, right? तो अब जो करंट फ्लो करेगा Vs से, एक करंट फ्लो करेगा इस तरीके से और दूसरा करंट फ्लो करेगा यहाँ से. So this two current will give you IT2. This is IT2. So IT2 will be equal to IR2. This is IR2 plus IC. किसी को कुछ डाउट है? प्लस IC. ठीक है, सो सिमिलर वे जैसे कि अभी मोड 1 में हुआ था, दो करंट्स थे, एक तुम्हारा डिस्चार्जिंग करंट था और एक करंट थ्रू R2 था. वी हैव टू वोल्टेजेस अगेन हियर. जो ये डिस्चार्जिंग करंट होगा इसमें दो वोल्टेज का सम होगा. दिस इज Vs, दिस इज Vs. सो अगेन यू विल हैव टू टाइम्स ऑफ Vs हियर. So IT2 can again be written as IR2 will be equal to Vs divided by R2 and IC will be equal to 2 Vs divided by R1 e to the power minus t by R1c. ठीक है, ये R1 से फ्लो कर रहा है, 2 टाइम्स ऑफ Vs इसका पीक वोल्टेज है. R1 is the resistance, so it is written as 2 Vs divided by R1 e to the power minus t by R1c. ठीक है, similarly if you draw the करंट फॉर IT2, तो जैसे IT1 में करंट ड्रॉ हुआ था वैसे ही IT2 में करंट ड्रॉ होगा, जस्ट दैट कि ये T2 टाइम के बाद होगा। यहाँ तक at T2 IT1 was off on, और after T2 IT2 is on. T2 is on here and T1 is on here. तो T2 के बाद यहाँ तक T1 जब तक ऑन है तब तक there will be no current flowing through the thyristor T2. जैसे T2 ऑन होगा वैसे ही जो करंट फ्लो होगा thyristor T2 से would be something like this. So this is 2 Vs divided by R1 and this is Vs divided by R2. Okay, so this is the waveform for IT2 versus time. Now if we want to find the capacitive voltage, so capacitive voltage will be equal to Vc is equal to 1 by C IDT integration IDT ICDT, right? And IC is equal to 2 times of Vs divided by R2 e to the power minus t by R2c. अब इसको इंटीग्रेट करेंगे तो ये R2c नीचे आएगा। When you will integrate this, R2c नीचे, R2c ऊपर भी आएगा इंटीग्रेशन के बाद। So you will get Vc is equal to Vs 2 times of e to the power minus t by R2c minus 1. So this will be the capacitive voltage due to the charging current, charging and discharging current. ठीक है. Now TC2 is the circuit turn off time for thyristor T2 plus capacitor voltage Vs is applying reverse voltage across T2. During TC2, there is two things happening. First is circuit turn off time for the thyristor T2. During this time, your thyristor T2 is off and the capacitor voltage Vs is applying a reverse voltage across T2. So, what will be the time period TC2? इस इक्वेशन में अगर हम Vc is equal to 0 करेंगे तो you will get your time period TC2 when the thyristor T2 is, during which the thyristor T2 is off. So at T is equal to TC2, Vc is equal to 0. So substituting this in equation 1, ये दोनों को इक्वेशन 1 में अगर सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे यू विल गेट 0 इज इक्वल टू Vs 2 times of e to the power minus Tc2 divided by R2c minus 1. Now take minus 1 to the other side. This Vs equal to 0, तो Vs हम हटा सकते हैं, so you can directly write e to the power minus TC2 divided by R2C is equal to 1/2. ये 1 को राइट साइड में लेके जाएंगे एंड 2 से डिवाइड कर देंगे, सो दिस यू विल गेट e to the power minus TC2 divided by R2C is equal to 1/2. Now taking log both the sides, इसमें log लेंगे तो ये सीधा TC2 divided by R2C आ जाएगा. ये C कैपेसिटर नहीं है, दिस इज जस्ट सबस्क्रिप्ट TC2 is equal to ln 1/2. Now taking minus, अगर यहाँ पे माइनस लेते तो यू कैन राइट ln2. यहाँ पे भी माइनस है, दोनों कैंसिल हो जाएगा. So TC2 can be written as ln R2C, ये डिवीजन में है तो R2C into ln2. So circuit turn of time for thyristor T2 can be written as TC2 is equal to R2C into ln2. So this type of, ये इस पे डायरेक्ट एक्चुअली क्वेश्चन आता है, डायरेक्ट न्यूमेरिकल आता है इन योर कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स. To calculate the circuit turn of time for complementary commutation circuit for any of the thyristor. तो जैसे ये TC2 निकाला है वैसे ही TC1 निकालेंगे, तो TC1 can be written as R1C into ln2. So TC1 can be written, यानी circuit turn of time for thyristor T1 can be given as TC1 and TC1 can be written as R1C into ln2. सेम फॉर्मूला से अगर हम VC कैलकुलेट करेंगे उसको TC1 में इक्वेट कर देंगे 0 के, तो you will get the same thing. At TC1 VC will be equal to 0 and VC will be equal to VS 1 minus 2 e to the power minus TC1 divided by R1C. So you will substitute this equal to 0, VC is equal to 0 and you can get the value of TC1. ठीक है, तो इस तरीके से TC1 और TC2 निकाल सकते हैं सर्किट टर्न ऑफ टाइम फॉर थायरिस्टर T1 and for thyristor T2. Now what will be the value of IT1 peak? IT1 क्या था? IT1 was equal to this. This was your IT1. What will be the value of IT1 peak? So IT1 peak will be दोनों का steady state condition, मतलब steady state पे जो value होगी, so that will be your IT1 peak. So IT1 peak can be given as Vs divided by R1 plus 2Vs divided by R2, right? So under steady state condition, this term will be equal to 1 and your value of this full part will be equal to 2Vs divided by R2. Similarly, IT2 peak will be equal to steady state condition. Steady state condition में this equation will become Vs by R2 plus 2Vs by R1. यानी T is equal to infinite पे जो position होगी that is your IT1 peak and IT2 peak. ठीक है. Now using this equation, ये जो इक्वेशन है इससे इसको यूज़ करके हम कैपेसिटर की वैल्यू निकाल सकते हैं कि व्हाट विल बी द वैल्यू ऑफ कैपेसिटर विच नीड्स टू बी यूज्ड इन दिस कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री कम्यूटेशन सर्किट. सो यहाँ से अगर हम कैपेसिटर की वैल्यू निकालते हैं, सो इट विल बिकम C will be equal to TC1 divided by R1 into Ln2. सिमिलरली यहाँ से इस इक्वेशन से भी कैपेसिटर की वैल्यू निकाल सकते हैं. सो हियर फ्रॉम हियर C विल बी इक्वल टू TC2 डिवाइडेड बाई R2 इंटू Ln2. तो इन दोनों ही इक्वेशन से दो कैपेसिटर की वैल्यू आएगी, बट यू हैव टू सब्सटीट्यूट वन कैपेसिटर. एक कैपेसिटर चाहिए, तो दोनों में से जिसकी वैल्यू ग्रेटेस्ट होगी फॉर सेफेस्ट कम्यूटेशन, वो वैल्यू हम सब्सटीट्यूट करेंगे. So from two different values of capacitances, we have to consider the highest value of capacitor for successful commutation. ठीक है. So this type of commutation is used in current source inverters or parallel inverters. So application of complementary commutation is in current source inverters and parallel inverters. ओके, यहाँ तक किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम? If not, we will start with another topic, which is DC drives, because we have already studied full wave rectifier, full wave, half wave, full wave rectifier, half wave rectifier. ये 3 phase और single phase में पढ़ चुके हैं. So we will study something about DC drives, how to apply these rectifiers in DC drives. किसी को यहाँ पे कोई डाउट है या ये इस पार्ट में कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री कम्यूटेशन में? Okay, so the next topic in this subject is DC drives or application of single phase or 3 phase converters or rectifiers. So next topic is DC drives. This is very important topic because इससे numerical आता है in your exams. So using the single phase and 3 phase rectifier, you can control the speed of your DC motor. So in case of DC motor, armature voltage control or field control पढ़ा होगा? Yes or no? What is the armature voltage control method of speed control of DC motor? Anyone? What is the armature voltage control method? ब्रजेश कुमार. ब्रजेश कुमार. What is the armature voltage control method of DC drives? So basically by controlling the voltage which is being fed to the armature of the DC motor, there is two terminals. One is armature terminal जो कि DC मोटर में तुम लोगों ने AA और F के फॉर्म में देखा है, ठीक है. So there are two terminals. One is armature terminal of the DC motor and second is field terminal of the DC motor, right? तो एक तो हमारा आर्मेचर है, दूसरा हमारा फील्ड है. सो इफ वी टॉक अबाउट DC मोटर, so if this is your DC motor, so this is the armature, यही armature की तरह behave करता है, and you have either field connected with the shunt of this DC motor, or if it is a separately excited DC motor, your field is connected with the separated supply. So this is for shunt, DC shunt motor. And this is for DC separately excited motor. So basically this is your AAA and FFF. Right? So this is your separately excited. Now this DC voltage Vs, this DC voltage can be controlled using a AC to DC converter. This DC voltage can be controlled using a AC to DC converter or rectifier. This DC voltage can be used to control the AC to DC voltage using a converter or rectifier. So because this is connected with the armature of the DC motor, this will control the armature supply of the DC motor, or this can control the field supply of the DC motor. So you can control all these three terminals of the DC supply using a AC to DC converter or rectifier. Now you have different types of AC to DC converter or rectifier with you. So those are different AC to DC converters are single phase, three phase, semi converter. See, half wave rectifier is not used, so we will not discuss about it. Semi converter or full converter is used, so we will discuss about that. Single phase and three phase semi converter, single phase and three phase full converter. Now the symbol of semi converter is something like this. 1 थायरिस्टर 1 डायोड, सिंगल फेस है तो ऐसा, और 3 फेस है तो like this. So the output voltage of single phase semi-converter is V0 is equal to Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha, and 3 phase is V0 is equal to 3 VML peak line voltage divided by 2 pi 1 plus cos alpha. ये याद रखना होगा to solve the numerical. अगर ये याद नहीं है तो वहाँ पे derive करने के लिए बहुत time लगेगा. So this you will have to remember for solving the numerical. In case of semi converter, you have 1 plus cos alpha in both the case, and in case of full converter you have cos alpha. Full converter का symbol सिर्फ एक थायरिस्टर से डिनोट करते हैं. इन केस ऑफ सिंगल फेस इट इज लाइक दिस. एंड इन केस ऑफ 3 फेस this is the symbol of full converter. So in case of full converter, V0 is given as Vm by pi 2 Vm by pi cos alpha and 3 VML by pi cos alpha. ठीक है, 3 फेस का और सिंगल फेस का ये हमारा एवरेज आउटपुट वोल्टेज का इक्वेशन है. दिस इज फेड टू द डीसी वोल्टेज. ये जो डीसी वोल्टेज है दिस इज फेड बाय these सेमी कन्वर्टर्स और फुल कन्वर्टर्स. सो आर्मेचर वोल्टेज कैन बी कंट्रोल्ड बाय यूजिंग these rectifiers. These rectifiers will be connected on the supply side of the DC motor, and then the armature voltage can be controlled by controlling the value of alpha. So by controlling the value of alpha, armature voltage can be controlled. Armature voltage can be controlled. So first is armature voltage control method. So in case of armature voltage control, the speed is decreased with the maximum speed. So omega will be less than omega r. Rated speed से कम speed होता है in case of armature voltage control, and rated speed से ज़्यादा speed में लेके जा सकते हैं in case of field control, right? So you can draw the circuit of armature voltage control like this. So this is the back EMF EB, current I0, single phase full wave converter, plus minus V0. So this can be single phase or 3 phase, anything. ठीक है. So we are changing alpha. changing alpha. Field can be redrawn as like this. Separately excited DC motor है तो field इस तरीके से बना सकते हैं. So this is suppose VF, this is IF, this is separately excited motor flux with constant voltage. Flux is constant and armature voltage is variable. Armature voltage is variable due to alpha. तो अगर ये सिंगल फेज है तो V नॉट विल बी इक्वल टू 2Vm by pi cos of alpha. और अगर ये थ्री फेज है, थ्री फेज से DC में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, सो V नॉट विल बी इक्वल टू 3VML by pi cos of alpha. ठीक है. Now EB, the back equation of back EMF is EB is equal to K phi n. K phi n, since flux is constant, so back EMF will be equal to K phi n or K into omega, where K is nothing but motor constant. So EB can be written as K into N, or EB can be written as K into omega in terms of volt, and K is volt per radian per second. ठीक है, and omega is 2 pi n by 60. So this is your EB. Torque in case of DC motor is given as armature torque is equal to phi into I naught. TA is proportional to phi into I naught. Again, since flux is constant, armature torque can be given as K into I naught, where K is given by Newton meter per ampere. Newton meter per ampere, right? So value of K in this equation and this equation is same. So value of K is same in both the equation. Okay. So now I naught is equal to TA by K. From here you can write I naught from this equation. I naught is equal to TA by K. Motoring equation for motoring mode, V is equal to EB plus IARA. You know that for motoring mode, V is equal to EB plus IARA. EB plus IARA मतलब RA is your armature resistance. RA is armature resistance. So from here you can write V is equal to V naught, so V naught can be written as K into omega plus IA can be written as T by K into RA. राइट, अब स्पीड का इक्वेशन लेके आना है तो इसको यहाँ लेके इस तरफ लेके आ सकते हैं. So omega will be equal to V naught minus TA by K into RA. Omega is equal to V naught by K TA by K square into RA. So if we vary the value of V naught, so speed की value जो है वो vary होगी. Since V naught is equal to 2 Vm by pi into cos alpha, alpha is varying, so V naught is varying, so speed is varying. So by using this equation, you can control the speed of the DC motor by armature control method. So alpha is varying, V naught is varying, so your speed is varying. Now how the speed is decreasing? As the alpha will increase, alpha की value जैसे increase होगी, so cos alpha की value decrease होगी, V naught की value decrease होगी, therefore the speed of the DC motor will decrease. So as alpha will increase, cos alpha will decrease, V naught will decrease, and hence speed of the DC motor will also decrease. So that is how you can control the speed of the DC motor by controlling the value of alpha. और इसी पे कुछ न्यूमेरिकल्स we will do in the next class. इसी पे न्यूमेरिकल्स बेसिकली आते हैं in case of your AC to DC converters. Right, so this was your armature control method. Similarly, you can increase the speed of the DC motor by controlling field method. So field control method is the second type. So in case of field control method, you are controlling the field of the DC motor as well. So here you can either use a rectifier with a constant alpha or you can use a DC supply. So let us draw a rectifier only. This is your armature and ये हमारा field है. This is F double F. This is A double A. There is a back EMF again in the DC motor. So suppose the torque is like this and the speed is like this. So here alpha is fixed or diode rectification can be used. So when you are using field control, you are keeping the alpha fixed for armature control and alpha is varying for field control. Alpha is varying for field control. Again, if there is single phase supply, V naught या Vf will be equal to 2 Vm by pi cos of alpha f. In case of three phase, Vf will be equal to 2 Vm by pi 3 Vm L by pi cos of alpha f. So by varying the value of alpha, you can vary the value of field and you can control the speed of the motor. As you know that in case of field control, omega is greater than the rated speed of the motor. So how it will be greater? First is IF will be equal to VF by RF, and since alpha is varying, VF is varying and IF is varying. So flux is proportional to IF. Alpha F is variable, therefore VF is variable, therefore IF is variable, therefore flux is also variable. So जहाँ पर flux variable होगा तो अब सारा जो भी equation है वो change हो जाएगा. EB was proportional to phi into N. Now phi is changing with respect to IF. So EB can be written as is proportional to IF into N. So EB can be written as K1 into KF into IF into N or K into IF into N. So EB is equal to K into IF into N or EB is equal to K into IF into omega. Similarly, armature torque will be proportional to phi into I naught will be equal to KF IF into I naught, KF into IF into I naught. KF into IF is equal to phi. यहाँ पर एक और कांस्टेंट रहेगा. So TA can be written as K into IF into I naught. Right? So there are two equations. एक torque equation हो गया और दूसरा back EMF का equation हो गया this. Now I naught from here can be given as TA divided by K into IF. So V naught is equal to EV plus IARA. V naught is equal to K into IF into omega plus IA can be written as TA divided by K into IF. From here omega can be written as V naught divided by K into IF minus TA divided by K into IF the whole square. So now again if you vary the value of V naught, if you vary the value of IF, you can vary the speed. Now because IF is in denominator, if you increase the value or decrease the value of IF, as you will increase the value of alpha, अल्फा को इंक्रीज करेंगे कॉस अल्फा की वैल्यू कम होगी, वी नॉट कम होगा, आई एफ कम होगा और स्पीड बढ़ेगा. सो हियर द रिलेशनशिप इज ऑपोजिट. सो if we increase the value of alpha, VF decreases, IF decreases, and hence omega increases. So speed can be increased from rated speed. Now we have two equations. V naught is equal to 2 Vm by pi cos alpha for full wave, and V naught is equal to 2 Vm, V naught is equal to Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha for semi-converter. For semi-converter, these equations, यानी ये जो voltage के equations हैं, this depend on the value of alpha, and depending upon the value of alpha, whether the alpha is less than 90 degree or greater than 90 degree, your armature voltage will be either positive or negative. So that is how we study two quadrant operation of a DC motor. जैसे कि तुमको पता है कि motor can be behaved in a motoring operation or braking operation. So when the motor is giving the supply, when it is giving the supply back to the power back to the supply, when it is giving the power back to the supply, it is called as regenerative braking or braking of the DC motor. So by changing the value of alpha, if alpha is greater than 90 degree, V naught will be negative, right, in case of full wave. Whereas in case of semi-converter, it will not be negative, it will be always in positive. So full wave rectifier can operate a DC drive in two quadrant mode, and semi-converter can operate a DC drive in a single quadrant mode. So depending upon कि motoring operation हो रहा है या braking operation हो रहा है, your DC machine can be controlled using a rectifier by changing the value of alpha. If alpha is less than 90 degree, your converter is operating in first quadrant. Suppose this is four quadrants. This is V and this is I. So in first quadrant, V naught is positive, I naught is positive. In second quadrant, V naught is positive, I naught is negative. Third quadrant, both is negative. And fourth quadrant, V naught is negative and I naught is positive. So because your current, output current, is always positive, current is always positive because of the high value of inductance. Current doesn't change its direction. So the motor with full converter can operate in these two quadrants, first quadrant and fourth quadrant, depending upon whether the value of alpha is less than or greater than 90 degree. पहले क्वाड्रेंट में अल्फा की वैल्यू लेस देन 90 डिग्री होगी और दूसरे चौथे क्वाड्रेंट में अल्फा इज ग्रेटर देन 90 डिग्री. We will study about it in the next class, and we will do some numericals also on DC drives. Okay, so let me take your attendance. Okay, thank you everyone.